guys, welcome back to my podcast. Everything happens for a reason, but what the fuck? This is the final episode of season 1, and I can't wait to show you guys what I've been working on for season 2. As always, welcome back and welcome to episode number 10, Growing Up With You. Hey y'all, I'm so glad you're here, and I'm really excited about today's episode because it just seems right to end this season with a similar phrase that my first episode was titled. And if you haven't watched it, it's called Growing Out, and it's all about the struggles and adventures and everything we face when it comes to relationships, careers, family, locations, and how we can grow into the person that we want to be. So, now that I've talked about that episode, it is time for today's episode. So, make sure to stick around to the end as well, where I'll be announcing the rules to be a part of my very first ever giveaway. So, today's episode, we're going to be talking about parents. As everyone knows, there are times when our parents do things that upset us, and sometimes they make us feel like they're out to get us. And it might not even be on purpose, but just sometimes how it goes. And, their regulations, their rules, if they're strict or if they're, seem like they don't care, everyone parents a little differently. And that's kind of the basis of today's talk. So this episode stems from the idea that we often get upset with parents because they do things that are wrong or upsetting, but what we fail to understand is that there's no guidebook on parenthood. When you become a parent, there's no person that tells you exactly what to do or how to take care of this and how to do this. And as much as we get frustrated that they do things wrong or they say things that are upsetting or they're too strict on us, everything they're doing is out of love. This is from my personal experience. Some people, I'm very fortunate to be in the situation that I'm in, that my parents are very caring and loving, and they were great parents to me, and they still are. And this might not be everyone's situation, but I'm just going to kind of talk from my point of view. And everything, as I grow up, I realized that everything they did was out of love. There's no right and wrong when it comes to parent. I mean, there is, moral right and wrong, but no one tells you, no one warns you about things, how to deal with financials, how to deal with, the terrible twos and the teenager stage and all these things. And what we fail to understand is that our parents are human, that they're going to make mistakes. They're going to say things that they don't mean. They're going to do things that they think are right. But everything they do is to try to make you the best you that they can make. And they're learning from what they didn't like from their parents, and they're trying to fix things. And there's obviously always generational problems, and there's no blatant line. It sometimes is, you have to cross the line before you realize that it's the wrong way to do it. And that just, they're human. That's just how it is. That's how parenthood can be. So it's a trial and error process. They have to learn things just as we do. And they're going to do things that literally don't make sense until you're an adult. There's a lot of things my parents did that they also kept problems from my brother and I. And I am so grateful for it now, because now that I'm an adult and I see, kind of what's going on in the world and what happens, and you have to make those decisions, it's like, how in the hell did my parents do this? How did they go to college with a 2-year-old and a newborn? And how did they make it through things and make it through every, aspect of life, growing through, relationships and family problems and death and lots of crazy things, health issues, and how in the hell did they do it? And I am always as you grow up, I'm obviously in a different state than my dad, and my mom's about 2 hours away, and I miss them more than ever. I miss being able to just go into the living room and see them and, eat dinner with them every night. It's hard. So if you're still in high school or you're still living with your parents, soak those moments in, because you never know when your last dinner together is going to be. You never know when your last family dinner is going to be. So every day when you get home, don't sit on your phone, don't do whatever. Go be with them, be in the same room as them, because you don't ever want to regret that. And so that's a big thing. So if you're a parent listening too, just know that you are trying your best. You're doing everything you can do to make them happy, and they're not going to understand it until they're an adult. I did not understand it until I'm an adult. There was a lot of things that my mom and I got frustrated about, and my dad and I got frustrated about, and I really thought they were out to get me a lot of times. But now that I look from their perspective, I know that they were just trying to protect me, and they were just trying to do what's best for me. And that's the parent's job. Their job is to protect you, and you're not going to be your kid's favorite every day, but those sighs and those rolled eyes, you'll be able to look back on and say, okay, I made the right decision. They might have been upset with me, but I made the right decision. And that's honestly the best accomplishment, because when your kids turn out great, that's all you. That's all on you, because they could have been a lot different. So if you're a parent, just know that you're doing everything you can do, and to keep it up and do what you can to make them happy. Sorry about that. My alarm clock went off in the middle of our recording. So um, we're going to go back into it. So that being said, it's everything's a trial and error process, and make sure that you're being mindful of how you speak to your parents, because they are trying their best. Everyone's trying their best, and the things you say really can hurt. And even if they upset you, just make sure you let them know that you're proud of them, that they're doing something right, because you know how it goes, how it feels good for someone to tell you that they're proud of you and that you're doing, a good job. And they're human too. They like to hear that. Let them know that you're grateful for them and that everything they do is worth it, and that you guys are going to argue, but at the end of the day, you love them, and that's what's so important, and that's what they love to hear. So that being said, as you go out into the world, you might not be the prettiest, funniest, or smartest person, but the one thing you can be is the kindest person in every room. And I did not forget. I almost forgot, actually. I'm not going to lie. So in order, I'll post it again on my Instagrams, but in order to enter the giveaway, what I'm doing is giving away a sweatshirt that I designed. I'll post the design online. I haven't ordered anything yet because I don't want to order it until I know the person's size. But what we're going to do is I want you to take a selfie of you, or even just a picture of where you like to listen to your podcast at, where you like to listen to my podcast at, and post on your story. Tag 2 friends for extra entries, and just try to spread the word as much as possible. And the person will be chosen next Friday for the podcast. I'll make sure to get in contact with you. But yeah, I really just want to kind of give something back to you guys, because you guys have really been awesome about watching the podcast, and always make me feel special, appreciated. So I want you guys to feel appreciated too. So that being said, I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so happy you're here and you choose to come and listen to this every week. Yeah, have a great week, and I will talk to you next Friday. Bye.